Well, hello there, my fellow miners and crafters. GoodTimesWithScar here, and welcome back to the wonderful worlds of Hermits and Crafting. And we're in our two-part series where we tour the Hermitcraft world, looking at all of our builds that we have completed together here on the server. In this first episode, we're going to tour all of my off-base episodes. So we're going to tour the shops, the landscapes, and all of our collaborative builds together, which is going to be really, really awesome. So in the comments, as we tour through here, I want you guys to go hashtag favorite build and tell me which build we see today was your favorite, and I really want to know. So make sure you get out your keyboard, get out your fingers, and get ready to tell me, because it'll help me kind of figure out what you guys liked and things along those lines. And if you guys are as happy as I am to show off these builds, get ready for season 5 and relive some nostalgia on the Hermitcraft server season 4, hit that like button and let's get right into it. So we're here in the Brown Market District, and we're going to be taking a look at our very first off-base build, and that of course was Scar's Enchanted Dual Forge. And I absolutely love this build. I think it came out just absolutely perfect the way I envisioned it, and these episodes are great because they're a really good way to kind of get inspiration for future builds and kind of remember techniques that we did a long time ago. And that's what I love about these videos, is they're kind of a good like archive of design. So hopefully this does inspire you for your own build. So what we've got here is an enchanted tool forge in a medieval style with custom landscaping throughout. And of course, we sold tools and armors and different things along those lines here in the forge. And on the outside here, of course, we have our actual forge. So we really wanted to create a nice story element to go along with the forge. So it did look like, you know, people are making the armors and different things along those lines. Now, there was some elements of the base that would never lived out to their full extent, and that was the enchanted kind of zone down at the bottom. You know, it's things like that we'll talk about, things that we didn't even quite live to see, unfortunately. So inside here, we've got our forge, you know, cooking away, lots of little details out there, but let's actually go inside. And this is one of my favorite elements of this entire build, of course, was the ceilings. The intricate details here are just absolutely stunning, especially around the windows, how we really kind of emphasize the crown moldings and details around the windows to give them just a huge pop. And we just wanted to create a real regal shop, right? Because we're selling the big stuff here. I think out of all the shops, like this had some of the largest purchases, you know, in terms of diamonds. You know, we might not have made the most diamonds, but single purchases were huge, like 32 diamonds, 64 diamonds, things along those lines. Came out really, really cool. Now in the interior here, we've got diamond pickaxes, fortune, mending, efficiency 5, and all of those wonderful things. Eventually, we even moved up to swords of the gods. And we got the Zeus's bolt of justice and Hades' revenge. And I think Hades' revenge was, yeah, it was smite. So it went perfect. So I think that came out really, really nice. Down at the end here, of course, we got your shovels, you got your axes, all those wonderful things. And unfortunately, nobody bought Troll Hoe. Nobody bought Troll Hoe, which is really sad, actually. You know, it's a great deal. It was a diamond hoe. It's the only hoe you'll ever need. So in the comments, go, poor Troll Hoe. Never got a home. Never did. This poor cat's been keeping an eye on the area, keeping Bob the Creeper building inspector at bay. But yeah, I really liked this build, and it was fun because when we first started this build, the only neighbor we had was Cubs, you know, Horse Emporium, and Derp way down at the end. But look at how this place has all come together. And it was our very first landscaping job here on the server, which ties into our next build. And that is Leaf Your Diamonds. That is right. This is our mega tree built in honor of the St. Jude Children's Hospital. We did it for our charity live stream, and it was absolutely amazing. We built this entire thing on a week's live stream. And of course, we have our sign over here, Leaf Your Diamonds, and of course, Scar's landscaping design services down in the lower area. So we terraformed this entire region over here to kind of mimic our tree. So hopefully the other shops didn't mind us getting a little crazy over here. Now the mushrooms, you know, they grow pretty well. You know, we got the shade, we got the river, so they're kind of everywhere. But I think this tree came out really nice. We have a nice little river flowing through here. Of course, there is even a waterfall on the other side. And look at that tree, just absolutely beautiful. And it's just amazing to look back at the VODs from that particular stream and how we started out with just a, you know, a little cylinder, and how we just slowly incorporated more and more detail into it. Now for the pathway, I like this little natural river stream. You kind of walk over the, you know, the rocks there. And of course, we move into the interior of the tree. Now we have two pathways. We can go upstairs, of course, to Leaf Your Diamonds, and then downstairs to design services. Let's start with Leaf Your Diamonds. And if I didn't make you dizzy, we're finally back up at the top. And this, of course, is the very tip top. So we have the tree canopy above, And then we have our chests over here just brimming, well, they're not brimming anymore, but they were brimming full of leaves and wonderful things. Now, I think our prices for the jungle here were maybe just a little expensive. We didn't sell it on a lot of those, but some of these ones were a diamond for 2 stacks. I think that were good prices. And of course, we still have some of those left over, but let's go down to my favorite part of the tree. And that Scar's landscaping design surfaces. We're in the lower level of the tree now. We have these big roots. So the theme of it is that we're kind of exiting the trunk of the actual tree and moving into a root. So as you can see, there's a little bit of dirt down here and there's some, some extra leaves at the ceiling. So let's go in here. And this, of course, is my design offices. This is where you can place your order for landscaping throughout the server. And we sure made some amazing landscapes together from this office. So this is the root, and I absolutely love this design. We built this over a live stream, and like I said, the theme is that you're exiting a root and kind of coming into a cave where the actual office is made out of. And then from that cave, as you can see, the stone kind of makes way to the mesa right here, and then out into an actual waterfall. This was amazing. We built this over 2 live streams, got a lot of inspiration from you guys on stream, so I think this came out really fun. Just lots of details. I think it's a nice little transition. As you can see, there's 3 transitions of terrain. Now, the next area of this particular build never got realized once again, and this was kind of a showcase, really. It was a place where people can see the different things that we've built and examples of builds. Like, we're gonna have our tree, showcase. We'd show a bunch of different trees and maps of projects throughout the server, but unfortunately, time, it's not our friend. But we're down in the processing facility, and here we can grow up trees, right? They shoot up to the top, and there's witch there. I've never gotten this all the way mob proof yet, but we grow up the trees, and then we can harvest it down into these hoppers. And the good impulse of the SV was able to help us with one of his amazing leaf sorter machines. So down here we can go and we can get all of our leaves and things from these chests, which is absolutely amazing. I do not understand the wizardry behind this, but that's a whole lot of hoppers out there. Look at them all. This is amazing. We don't let Tango see those hoppers, by the way. This is a secret between me and you, right? Right? Are we good? Okay. Coming into the White District, we're going to take a land here at the runway. These things always reminded me of an airport runway. So we're gonna land in front of the courthouse. And who remembers the courthouse build? It took quite some time to build because of the sheer complexity and the nature of the build, of course, using quartz. I absolutely love it. I think the use of the quartz and of course the hardened clay cyan and the stone, I think it just gives off a really great vibe. I like breaking up the white with the gray. Now, I say this is looking good or that's great, but that's just my opinion. I want to know from you. So in the comments, go #better suggestion on any of the builds we talk about today, and just let me know how you would have built it. If there was other things that you would have added color-wise or rooms or different designs, please let me know, because I'd love to absolutely hear from you guys and critique me. Please, critique me on these things. I'd absolutely love to know. So let's head up the stairs here into the courthouse. And this took quite a few episodes, like I said, but we have just an incredible design in here, I think. And of course, this is one of the largest single structures that I've ever made in Minecraft, especially with the complex nature of all the details throughout the room. And we have our little seats, and of course this is where the good Wells Knight defended Cub Fan in the great court battle that took place here. Anyone remember the court battle between, we got the Cub Fan, the defender, no wait, Azuma and Rendog were the defender, and of course Wells Knight was the prosecutor, and there was Scar up there in his judge's chair, and of course there is the Hermit above all, looking down, just as Hermit. Look at this beard. It's amazing, right? Haha, absolutely love this. I think it came out very nice, and I really enjoyed the time we all spent together here defending and or prosecuting the Logfather and the Logfellas. So let's see here. I think what we did on the outside, oh, that is right. We built a very beautiful modern landscape around here. Up until now, we've done a lot of very, kind of rustic, very natural landscapes. So it was really fun to break away from that and try a little bit in terms of modern. And of course, the design of the courthouse wraps all the way around. I'm not cheap. I'm not making any cheap facades or anything along those lines. All of our builds have landscaping details throughout, and we've got it all the way through here, looking absolutely amazing with the lawns and just all the little details. Now, the one thing is that in this build that I didn't get to, of course, was the lower level, which, I would have had my chambers, Scar's chambers, and, a jail cells, different things along those lines that are unfortunately never lived out, but maybe in a future build, right? Maybe in a future build. And of course, that's what the other side look like too. So on to our next build. Something really fun that we built together throughout the season was these bridges connecting the different plateaus together, because of course we're on top of a mesa, and the mesa has these rivers flowing through. So we needed easier ways to get across. And I think we did a really great job with these builds and trying to capture a very southwestern style with them. And I love the archways going into the blue residential district. And I think these came out really nice. Of course, people had added lights to them because, well, that's something I'm very bad at. Oh, spoilers, don't look, guys. You know I'm saving the best for last, don't you? I bet you figured that out. If you're watching, you're like, Scar, you saving the best for last, and that's what I am doing. And of course, this here is another bridge we built during Minecon. I think this came out really nice, has a nice suspension style. And like I said, it really ties in with that kind of frontier feel that we were trying to achieve. And it's got some rickety boards. I really like this design as it kind of has these little places where you feel like you're might gonna trip or fall through. I think came out really, really nice. Here was a really fun build that I did with the wonderful Tango Tech, and that of course is the Tangler, and he wanted this kind of briar patch, kind of tangled mess as an entrance, of course, to the Tangler puzzle game, which is below us. And I think we together did a really amazing job on this. So these little tentacles reaching for the skies, and they've got a little bit of brush on them. They have some vines hanging down, and of course there's this beautiful, beautiful cave entrance that leads downwards into it. And that's the worst place in the world. Going through that door, I don't like to talk about it. Where's the actual book? Where's the book? It shows how long it took me to complete this. There, wait, no. Oh, it's not here anymore. The book's not here. Oh, no, there it is. There it is. Okay. Look at this, guys. This is my time. Look, I even kind of messed up my name. The derpiness was severe. 7 hours and 44 minutes and 1 Tango rescue to complete the Tangler. He says he's going to make another one for season 5, which I'm slightly terrified about. But yeah, I think this came out really fun, and it was a great time hanging out with Tango. I really, really enjoyed our time together as we built this, and it came out really, really cool, I think. I can hear you now screaming out, Scar, get to the landscaping. We are almost done with the structural builds. This is our UFO we built down here in Hermitron Halls, and I think this has some incredible kind of creativity, imagination built into it to really tell a story. And that is, a UFO has come through the ceiling and of course is kind of beaming up a cow. It created a crop circle down below. I think came out really, really fun, and using some of the new blocks. That was a big challenge with this build, was I wanted to incorporate a little bit of concrete. I wanted to use, of course, the terracotta blocks in some way, and I think we succeeded at that. And I always remember, people, remember that terracotta blocks are not a building block, they're an accent block, and I think that's where they shine in this particular build right here, is they have that accent color and they don't get overwhelming. Look at the interior, looking very incredible. See, we use the concrete blocks throughout as the structural building block, but we use the terracotta in a very beautiful kind of natural way throughout, so it doesn't feel like it's just overwhelming to your eyes. We have too much craziness, so I think that looks really nice. And here it is. I still have not completed this final set, which would tie me once again with Iskall, so I'm very frustrated about that. So here is our scored chest. Look at this. Look at this. 3 sets. And of course, we have one that's still not all the way scored, and I really hope to get that last block, and I don't know what it is for the Tribe of 16, which would put us in tie for, of course, the Draco Malfoy, which I really, really want. I really want that Draco Malfoy. Welcome to the Christmas Village. This was an area that was also an incredible experience to build with the other hermits on the live stream Christmas special. We built a tree cutting facility. We have a red truck with a tree in the back. We have, of course, this little tree cutting station where there are pre-cut trees and the snow, and everything looks absolutely beautiful. And of course, this is like a tree bundler. The tree goes through here and gets all of its branches bundled for transport, and there's some trees getting ready ready to get cut down. Lots of beautiful designs in the ground with all of the ice and the snow. I mean, the largest portion of time spent was, of course, with the snow, as you could imagine. And then we made one episode here also, and this was where we built our Christmas cabin and kind of relived Christmas memories. It was a really fun episode to do with you guys, and I kind of talked about some Christmas memories of my own, going to our cabin in the woods, and we did a really nice interior. We have a little dining room, a little kitchen, and of course a Christmas tree with presents under there. And this time, these things were very valuable, the shulker boxes, so we spent a pretty penny to make these tree ever Christmas presents. And of course, little garland around the entrance into our living room. We have a beautiful fire, some couches, and different details along those lines, and I think it came out really nice. My favorite thing within this whole build, of course, was the icicles. This was incredible. I was so happy that I kind of came up with this as we were building this, the icicle design, and I was very, very pleased with that design. There is somebody banging on my door now telling me, Scar, the landscaping, but we have this final build here to show you, and that is the 5K Club built with cub fan and false of the symmetries, and it came out really cool. We had this little volcano leading down to, of course, the jacuzzi, but our first build here was the display. So each one of the 5K members have made these really cool window displays, and then there's mine, Scar Air. We're on like an old World War II fighter. We've got the teeth on the sides, the propeller spinning, which was a suggestion from you guys, so thank you for that. And I think the force perspective has all came out really nice. These are kind of fields down below. There's little barns and little houses right there, and of course we have the red and the green on the wings, which of course are not right, by the way. You know, it just makes sense with me, I guess. And then our final build here was the flight deck of the USS Good Times. So let's head down to the flight deck. Now, this was an area that wasn't fully realized, unfortunately. I wanted to build an airlock with suits and, of course, a way into the actual flight deck over there, but we just never were able to get to it in time. But this is really cool. Using those terracotta blocks once again as an accent really highlights them. This is a radar computer, and this is a target acquisition systems and things along those lines. And let's head into the actual flight deck, and we have a fighter jet primed and ready to roll, and the cats are doing the final maintenance check on it. Look at the cats, they're doing final maintenance. Oh, they're so cute. We got blaster cannons and all sorts of really cool detail. And once again, this was using the new blocks. We have concrete, we have observers, which observers are pretty new, so I think that came out really nice. We have hoppers, and of course the N-Rod as the blasters, and ice as the canopy for the cockpit, looking amazing in the force field, opening up into space. I love it. This came out really fun. I really enjoyed this time. Of course, you know, building with false and cub was really fun as we built kind of the main structure of the area. If you've made it to this point of the video and you were as excited as I am to show off the landscaping, go, it's landscaping time in the comments. So hashtag it's landscaping time, and let's do it. So I don't want to take credit for the, you know, the structures of this area or anything along those lines. These big tall towers, these of course were all built by Wells Knight, but what I did was all of the stonework, the crystals, all of these little things were what we worked on. I put in 2 16-hour days working on this cave, all in survival by cutting out all of these blocks. And if you go back to this particular episode, you'll see there was just a box, and we just carved and carved our little heart's content into making these little areas. And I think this came out really, really nice with, of course, the crystals hanging down, and then down below we have these lava rivers, which I definitely want to show you guys. So let's zip down there real quick. And like I said, this took hours to creating all this intricate detail down here is absolutely stunning. And in the comments, I do want to hear what you guys have to say for your favorite landscape. So let me know, because we have 3 landscapes to tour now in this episode. And of course, this is our first one, Wells's Cave. And then let's shoot back up here. But I get shivers remembering how long this all took. I must have listened to maybe 4 or 5 podcasts a day working on this. But in the end, I'm really glad we did it. I'm glad we took the time to really take this to the next level and make this the most immersive environment possible. And I think this rivals the Hermit Quest cave. I think it probably does. It's a real step up from our very first crystal cave that we made way back in 2014 in Scarland. Anybody remember that? Way back there in the fishing cabin, looking absolutely amazing. Anyway, let's move on to our next landscape. This was my very first project in terms of landscaping services. I was hired by the wonderful Tango to create an immersive landscape around his beautiful castle design. And this was our first crack at this design, and I absolutely love it. So if you see back there, we transition slowly out of the mesa where we leave the hardened clay behind. We go into a more stone pathway and we loop up around, showcasing this beautiful castle design. And the theme of here is a fantasy forest design where we created little rivers and created just an absolute beautiful intricate detail throughout the area. And I think this came out really nice, and it all ties into eventually Ren's project down below. We built him a little well in the center of the build, landscape this whole area, and of course out here we added some big trees, and I think this area came out absolutely wonderful. And like I said, this was our very first project within all of the different landscaping projects that we did on the server for the members. Welcome to my second favorite landscaping job here on the server, and that was for Impulse in this incredibly beautiful modern landscape. We built the fences, we built the security gate, and of course the driveway. We broke new ground with design using the concrete powder, and of course these pathways leading into the house. There is my arch enemy of trees, the palm tree. I struggle with palm tree designs, but I really feel we're starting to get better together on these designs with, of course, your guys' help. And this is a cool modern, fountain we have in the center. We have a circular driveway, and that leads to a little parking area where False built one of her incredible cars. And then down this way, I asked Impulse what his favorite sport was. We got basketball, and that is looking really cool. We built him a basketball court on this side with some nice little netting on the wall so he doesn't lose any of his basketballs. They changed the way that, of course, iron works, so we weren't able to do our original design, so we used a cobweb, which I think looks okay. But there's our hoop, there's some basketballs, of course, on that side. And like I said, we broke new ground with these designs where we used some of our traditional lawn designs, mixing in some of the new concrete green powder, and I think it came out really, really, really nice. This was, like I said before, whenever I've been able to do anything modern here on the server, it's kind of a breath of fresh air because I've been, building so much in the natural variety throughout here. I wish I could fly and show you guys what this looks like from above, but unfortunately it is past 4 o'clock, and once we get past 4 o'clock on the server, for some reason I can't fly anymore. It just gets laggier by the minute. And this is commitment to detail. Commitment to the design is to place string under all these concrete blocks down here to create that kind of hanging effect where we could, with a non gravity induced block. So look at this. That's commitment right there to the design to make it the absolute best thing possible. And I really, really hope that Impulse enjoyed this design. And like I said, guys, definitely let me know what your favorite landscape was. We have Will's Knights build, we have Impulse's build, and now we're gonna go to the granddaddy of them all, Ren Diggity Dog's Lush Mesa National Park project. And the moment you guys have been waiting for, we are now at the Lush Mesa project. And my task from the Ren Diggity Dog, which he was so patient for, and I appreciate that. He waited for me to finish getting over my surgery and then for me to get back from Minecon to do this. But this was the largest project on the server for me, and it was to terraform the cliffs all the way around the build. Multiple waterfalls were installed. This one's slightly askewed because there's an Hermitron waterfall in there. But this was incredible. We built all the stone, all the dirt, all of these trees, and I think it came out really, really nice. And I really appreciate Rendog's payment. He gave me a full diamond beacon, which was absolutely incredible. But let's kind of fly around here and just kind of look at some of these amazing slopes and cliffs and trees and waterfalls. And of course we can get a good view of Tango's Keep, where it has all the stone and all of those wonderful things. But yeah, this was an absolute pleasure to do for Ren Diggity Dog himself. And it was so much fun to put together. And I really hope it inspired you guys to take survival landscaping to the next level like we always do around here. And this was the final little detail I haven't shown you guys yet. To get ready for the project, I built this very fun little Scar's landscaping truck. So I pulled up here with a tree on the top. So we had the big bundle on the back, and there I am in the cab, and we've got a little trailer on the back with some extra supplies and details. Let's see if we can hop up here. Can we get a little hop? There we go. So we've got a chest still full of stuff, and back here, this was all the supplies to start the project. But it eventually needed much, much more. And there we go. That is all of my projects outside of my base. I really hope you guys have enjoyed, and definitely let me know what you thought could have been better, what your favorite build was, what your favorite landscape was. So the choices were, of course, Tango, Wells Knight, Impulse, or Rendug. In the comments, let me know. And as always, guys, thank you so much for being with me during this. It absolutely means the world to me that you guys watch the videos and help support me, and that just means, like I said, just means the world. And I can't thank you guys ever enough for it all. And we'll be moving to our last tour, and that, of course, is my base. So until then, we'll see you later.